Dheeraj says pretty unidirectional. Okay. Maybe you will get some insights from today's session and then we can catch up again. I appreciate people coming on video as well. It's possible from your end. Okay. Thanks, Pawan. So hi everyone, I'll just come on video first so that we can have a better dialogue. Hey everyone, this is Saurabh here. Good evening. If you are in the Indian Standard Time, okay. So I hope everyone is doing extremely well. And today we have gathered to learn something new. Even I am there to learn something out of you guys. So, how's your experience altogether in terms of your college journey, your learnings, the friends that you have made? I'm there to learn from you guys. Okay. So, before we start, I have curated some decks that I'll be sharing, of course, but is the decks not boring? So definitely we'll have some sort of interactions in between to cut down that boring times of just reading the decks, and then we can have a better engagement, I believe. Just few disclaimers. So during the call, you can post your questions on chat. You can leverage the chat to ask your questions, or even I'll take breaks in between my decks, so you can even come on unmute yourself and ask your question at that time when I am in break, or maybe you can park your questions to the end. Okay, sounds good. So just give me a thumbs up if everything sounds good to you, and I'll share. Yep, I see a lot of thumbs up. Great. And also you can share your emojis. How do you feel at the present? If you have something to share, you can share it on chat. Yeah, great, great. So I'll quickly bring up on my screen. Oh wow, there's a tons of emojis coming up. So give me a minute. I'll bring my screen up. Yeah. Just a minute.
Meanwhile, while we start, just wanted to thank Gigs for Gigs that is sponsoring us for this whole event. So thank you so much, Gigs for Gigs, for sponsoring us and supporting us. So over to you, Saurabh.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know, Pawan, if my screen is visible to you in 2 minutes. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I hope my screen is visible right now. Yeah. So at times I might not have the access to the chat. Like I won't be seeing that this meeting window. So you can just paste on your questions in the chat, and there will be volunteers who will be parking these questions while I take a break. Okay, sounds good. So welcome everyone to the roadmap to ace your career milestones. Definitely, I believe everyone over here are are from college, undergrads, or maybe post graduations, or maybe doing their doctorates. So, and each of us ponder at a time, or maybe multiple times, that what should be our next steps, or what should we do, or how should we progress in our career journey, right? So, based upon my experience, what I have learned throughout my career journey, I'm here to share you my learnings and my knowledge. So, good to go. So before we start, just give me a minute. I see. Yeah. So before we start, let's first introduce the speaker. That's me, obviously. So hey everyone, I am Saurabh Bora. I am a pass out of ITER from the 2019 to 23 batch. I'm a BTech grad, and currently I am a CSA, Cloud Solution Architect at Microsoft. Previous to this, I did my summer internship at Microsoft, and I did a quite number of internships, nearly 7 to 8 internships at different fortes, as well as different fields. So, like I had been part of the DPS, which is Digital Product School, and I also have been a part of quite number of eventually growing startup ecosystems, wherein I was working on the tech side of it, and I have been developing products for them from scratch. So yeah, that was a great experience, and definitely I am a hackathon evangelist and enthusiast. I have been participating more than 50 plus hackathons and had the opportunity to win quite a number of them, including the Smart India Hackathon, the Smart Odisha Hackathon, and a lot many as well. So just to gist onto my bio. So I am mostly on the side of artificial intelligence and machine learning, along with cloud computing. And I also have a great interest on Android applications. So building Android application is something that I do in my free time. So let's begin. So, as you know, like this is the month, this is the auspicious month of October, wherein we celebrate the open source journey that we have, or the all open source projects are being maintained by the maintainers, as well as there are contributors who contribute to the project. So this month serves as a booster or sprinter for the newbies to join the open source journey. So let's first understand what is open source. Okay, so my bad. So yeah, open source refers to any software or product that is available to you freely, and you have the choice to use it, maybe build something upon it, or maybe distribute it among your organization, or maybe your communities. So that is something freely available. Now, what is the benefit of it? So there is collaborations that is taking place. Let me just give you an idea that we can relate. Okay, so just as in the OCTOHUB, you participated in this OCTOHUB, and like you had worked onto some project, I believe, and it's the project was something new to you, and you were not like aware of what thing was there, what the project was doing at all, or maybe at the lower end, how the code was working. So what you did, you got in touch with the organizer or the owner of the project, and then you had a walkthrough of the entire code. You understood the code, how the code works, the project, the entire the product, or maybe if it's a app or a web app, how it works. There are specific elements that is in between. So this drives a collaboration spirit as well as team working spirit. Apart from that, I believe a lot of people, I had an interaction with you before this as well, wherein we got to know that a lot of people are newbies, or even just consider as my case, if I am an Android developer and I have been contributing to a project that is on machine learning. So I had a chance to learn a particularly new thing, because there might be reasons that I did not get an Android project or a specific Android project that I wanted to contribute. I did not have a chance there, right? So I contributed to a machine learning. In this way, I learned a particular technology. I ramped up. I understood the code. I then built upon it, maybe a feature or a service, and then finally I like made a pull request to the original repo. Upon confirmation from the owner, if the entire code segment that I pushed is working, the finally the code gets merged. So in this way you learn a lot of new technologies. You understand the code structure or the code quality that is being adopted at the industry level. So usually when you talk about open source contributions, there are individual level contributions. There are also you contribute to a organization's project as well. So there you understand what is the code quality or the code best practices that you follow. So there's a lot of learning that is accompanied. And finally, the networking side of it, the major benefit of open source. So when you, as I said, you contribute to an open source project that is maybe maintained by a single owner, or maybe a group of team of or a company of people maintain that project, and you're contributing to it. So just try to understand how well your network flows. So you have a rapport with those people, and they know that you have a potential to make a contribution onto their project. So this like increases your chance to get hired at different companies. And believe me, there are instances wherein people have contributed to some organization's project. Obviously that does not start at the initial level. You have to work on small level projects. You contribute to individual projects which is maintained by a single owner, and you have a hands-on experience. Then you gradually go to a higher level wherein you contribute to an organization's project. And if you check for any of the organizations, there are a lot of open source projects, and there are like open issues that need to be solved. So if you have a chance to solve those issues, or if you have a chance to fix a bug, existing bug in a product that is being used by a set of customers, so obviously that is a huge potential impact that you have made to the company. So in that case, there's a hiring opportunities that are followed by these open source contributions. And obviously now nonetheless, so there is Google summer of codes, there is Kharagpur winter of codes, there is girls Trip summer of codes, and tons of summer of codes that or open source contribution sprints that goes around throughout the year, wherein you get a chance to contribute to some of the open source projects. Obviously you will have to give your own proposal onto how you will contribute to the project, or what specific features or issues are you going to solve. And then you get hired for you get stipend for contributing to that project. So if you talk about Google summer of codes, you get a good amount of stipend, and definitely this is a huge boost to your resume. So obviously open source contribution is very crucial, and I hope by the end of this month you do realize the same. So we'll discuss the top trending technologies, but I believe it was a huge tons of data like at once. So any questions? Is there any questions that you would want me to answer first? Okay, so I see Ayush, bhaiya, I am a fresher and how I can contribute to open source. So that's what how Ayush I said you will have to seek maybe what you can do the best one. So you guys are familiar with both Hindi and English, right? I might switch in between, but again, so what you can do is that you can reach out to seniors in your college. You can reach out to professors in your college. So usually the professors are involved in some research work, and there's a huge they also look for people who can code their projects or convert their ideas into real world working projects. Or maybe you can work with a senior onto contributing into their project. So in that way you can start building your journey into open source. So you can just start with something. Maybe if you are passionate about web, if you are passionate about app or data science, you can look for someone who has some projects on data science, and you can ask, like, Bhaiya, what is the code doing, or can you give me a walkthrough of the code? Then probably he'll give you a walkthrough of the code, and then probably you can ask what is the specific things that you want to build on top of it. Might be a feature, or might be any existing bug that he's not able to fix. So maybe you can do some R&D upon it, and you can contribute to it. So this is how you start. For me personally, I did start the same way. So there are a lot of clubs and communities and colleges wherein you get to get in contact with a lot of seniors in your college, right? So you can just get in touch with them. You can ask them, ki, Bhaiya, I'm someone who is expertise, or maybe I'm learning web development. So how can I contribute to some of your projects? So maybe if he is a right person onto web development, he can guide you. Maybe if not his project, maybe some other's project, obviously his friend's one. Okay, so this is how you start, and step by step you'll grow to a greater extent, and you will be contributing to some potential projects that are being used by some customers. I see Com Senapati, what topics are mostly used in ML repos? I learned basic ML, but can't find any ML repo. So Com, there's nothing like that. To start with, you can just start with some basic machine learning projects, maybe some basic machine learning algorithms that are written that are not implemented using some libraries, but you can write mathematical functions in Python to implement those machine learning algorithms. There are tons. If you search on GitHub, you'll find tons of repositories that have basic machine learning algorithms written without any frameworks or libraries. So that you can take up. You can take up basic machine learning use cases based projects. You can take up data science based projects. Those are the ways you can start. And I see Said, Bhaiya, I am cloud computing enthusiast. How can I contribute? In what field? What all scalable skills do I need? And can you please tell me? So Sayed, I'll come back to you in this topic. So I have this thing covered in my text. So I'll just come back. Give me a minute. Yep. So now we'll discuss the most important or the trending technologies you need to know. So obviously, when you there are a lot of people in college who regularly ping me on LinkedIn or maybe in WhatsApp that what specific technologies should we learn? Is there any specific prioritization that we should have upon learning technologies? The answer is no. See, if you are asked to learn a particular technology, you may learn it, but at the initial stage, when you're learning your first technology, you might not get that interest. So first of all, try to get the interest or the intuition. Why do you need that to learn that technology? Why is it so important for you, not the industry? Okay, and have a taste of all technologies, maybe a just taste, and then you can get an idea what interests you the most. If for me, if it's machine learning, then probably I'll be more interested to learn more about machine learning. But if you tell me that yeah, sort of, you learn web, so maybe I'll just leave that. I'll do it for 2 days or maybe a month, and then I'll leave. I'll not learn actually. So just find your interest first, and then probably you can start on learning either of the technologies. And obviously there's no limitation. So once you have done maybe web development, then you can switch to app development as well. You can have a taste, or maybe you can go further enhancing upon your web development skills as well. So either of the way works for you. But again, there are few technologies that are industry relevant, or maybe top trending technologies that are being currently used by the industries right now. But at the same time, this is no hard and fast rule. Their technologies evolve over time, and obviously, after a certain period of time or a cycle, these technologies will be replaced with some other new technologies. So don't limit yourself to a particular technology, but have an agile approach that to learn and adopt to a new environment. Okay, so talking about new technologies, obviously this slide might not contain everything that I speak, because this is an artificial intelligence like generated slide. Obviously I also use generative AI these days to cut down my time to generate these PPTs. So I'll just speak out all that I have in mind, and let's just adhere with it. So first in my list is artificial intelligence for sure. So obviously with the introduction of Chat GPT and Bard, you must have heard like every industry is crazy about this thing. What is LLMs? What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? You, if you have heard how Microsoft is evolving its OpenAI services, how Google is developing its Bard services and building some extensions on top of it, how companies are proactively looking for to use these OpenAI services onto their platforms to maybe summarize certain meetings, or maybe draw certain insights from their existing meetings, or maybe for some other use cases. So this is something very important. I won't say go to the level of LLMs, or for just a disclaimer for those who don't know LLMs, it's large language models. Okay, so for those who do not have an idea into machine learning, I won't tell you or suggest you to directly skip to directly jump to large language models. Rather, you can start with basic machine learning algorithms. Then probably you can go to the next step, that is neural networks. You can drive some good projects on neural networks these days. Even neural networks have also a great potential to that are being used in a lot many many fortes and fields. Obviously, if you have experience with machine learning and deep learning, so you can also work on research. So research is also very important at your graduation as well as post graduation level. So, and usually people are ignorant of this thing, so it's important. And next onto my list would be blockchain. So many people think that blockchain is something that is confined to just financial industries, or BFSI, like BFSI as in banking and finance sectors. So it's wrong. The technology behind cryptocurrency is, Bitcoin is blockchain, right? And it's not limited to just financial industries, but almost all industries use blockchain. So if you talk about supply chain, if you talk about healthcare, anything, anywhere wherein the security of the data or a transactional data security is taken into concern, blockchain is something that is preferred, obviously, right? So blockchain would come second in my list. Third would be cloud computing and DevOps. So obviously there's a hype since 2001 regarding cloud computing, and DevOps had come a bit later in the stage. But in just having everything on premise as in having everything, all applications running on your local machines or maybe on premise machines, won't serve you, or could incur you a huge amount of cost. And there's a lot of maintenance things, and maintenance, and a lot of things, that lot of cost in terms of cooling, power, and a lot of things are taken into consideration. So cloud computing becomes a maybe a platform for you to leverage your applications or web applications or maybe database or something, anything like you talk about is there as a service on cloud. So I generally recommend people to get familiarized with cloud technologies, how baseline the architectures are built, not exactly the overview that you see on the portals, but how the entire the virtualization, the logical separation of the VMs, or maybe if you talk about storage, how the storages are services are built. So understanding those cloud computing architectures. If we talk about service oriented architecture, so how those things work, understanding, having an idea of those, as well as having a high level idea of cloud services. So cloud services, when you talk about, so there is compute, there is storage, there is database, there's there can be this machine learning stuff. There can be there is you can talk about maybe serverless functions. Okay, so having an idea, just an idea, obviously at an undergraduate level you won't have access to these platforms at all, but having done the basic certifications on various cloud providers, major cloud providers like AWS, Azure, GCP, is a quick push to your resume. So this is important. And finally, on to my list would be data science. So the entire world is operating in huge amount of data. There's this petabytes. There is even more, like tons of petabytes of data that is being consumed by the entire world on a daily basis. So where does this data go, and how is it being stored? That is a huge question for each industry as well. So even for big companies like Microsoft, Google, or Amazon, how do they process their entire data is something that they are still trying to figure out. There's a lot of research and development that is going on. And subsequently, there's a huge demand for data scientists, data modelers, someone who can drive insights from data. So these things are very important, and having an idea of data science and data analytics would give you a career boost in this terms as well. So if you want to know more about data science, there are freely available websites like Analytics Vidya, Towards Data Science. There is YouTube videos like Krishna Nayak, and there's lot many. You can just type in Google and you'll get tons of resources to get started with data science as well. And maybe once you are done with data science, you can then switch to machine learning, because obviously once you have processed the data, you have modeled the data, you have derived some insights, then you can train a model upon it, right? So these technologies are important, but at the same time, I repeat again, there's not such confinement that you need to stick with these technologies. These are something that are currently relevant to the market, but these things might change. No one knows, right? So yeah. So the third topic um, that I was told to discuss upon was managing, and it's very crucial. Obviously, is managing your time effectively in college. How do you manage your time effectively in college? So I'll tell you. I have seen in my batch. I have seen people in as juniors. I have seen people in my senior batch. Mostly 90% of people fail to manage their time in college. Okay, believe me, 90%, this is a huge number. Only 10% of the people actually realize and have their time effectively managed. When I tell effectively manage, does not mean that कि सब समय वो पढ़ाई करते रहते हैं, सब समय पढ़ो पढ़ो पढ़ो, ऐसा नहीं होता है, ठीक है? So it's that you need to plan your schedule, you need to plan your day, so that you devote certain time to academics, you devote certain time to extracurriculars, you can devote certain time to learning, maybe some time to internship, and maybe obviously some time to personal life. So किसको पसंद नहीं है कि like who does not want to have a girlfriend in life, right? Obviously everyone has and everyone wants as well. And obviously who does not want to chat those like scroll those Instagram reels at night? So obviously everyone wants, or watch Netflix throughout the weekends. So you need to plan yourself that, boss, if I am working for 2 hours a day, I will watch Netflix for 2 hours a day, maybe according to your plan. Obviously, there's no hard and fast rule. Or maybe I will watch 4 hours a day in weekend. But after that time, I have 20 hours. So 20 hours, maybe 8 hours if I sleep, or 10 hours if I sleep. Then I'll maybe devote another 4 hours for my internship, or learning new technologies, or contributing to open source projects, right? So it's very important to prioritize yourself. Now when I talk about prioritization, this is something, this is a mistake that I made. So I had a lot many work, even these days as well. I have maybe 20 works in my list or to do to complete. Now, is my priority from P1 to P20? The answer is no. Always, you cannot complete those 20 works in a single day, right? You need to understand that not everything can be completed within that 24 hours. You need to prioritize yourself. So obviously the priority is always set to P1, P2, P3. The priority 1, the priority 2, and priority 3. And you need to first of all target these things to be completed in a single day, and maybe you can park the rest for the next day. If you have time on the same day, you can complete P4 and P5, but not at all P20, right? So you need to prioritize which is what is important for you, what is very crucial for you at that particular time. Do it first, and then probably you can do the second, right? And creating a schedule. So there's no hard and fast rule. If you also see, there's a lot of YouTube videos. I watch on a daily basis how to schedule my plan, how to schedule my days, because even I, as a working at Microsoft, I have a very tight schedule, and I also have to have time for my personal life. I have to have time for my social life. So there's a huge conflict that, or a fight that takes place upon dividing your time, right? So you need to figure out yourself. Maybe you can take guidance from different people who have been successful in managing their time well, but obviously you will have to prepare your own schedule कि बॉस मेरे को इतना टाइम इस चीज में देना है, इतना टाइम इस चीज में देना है, and try to abide by that. Obviously it's not possible, we are humans, and we it's not possible to strictly 100% abide by those timelines, but you can just keep a track of how much are you able to do in a particular day, and try to become a better version of yourself the next day that you work, right? So that is one thing, very important thing during college. So I've seen people who have come after the 12th and joined the college, and they say कि अब तो भैया बहुत मैंने बोर्ड क्लियर कर लिया, ठीक है, अब मैं कॉलेज में भी आ गया, अब तो मैं पूरा चिल मारूं, ठीक है. सो दैट चिल मारू फॉर एक साल, वो बोलते हैं कि चिल मारू फॉर एक साल. दैट चिल मारू फॉर एक साल goes continues to second sal, okay, second year, continues to third year, until you realize that the placements are at peak and you need to work upon it. And at that point, it's like a burden or a bomb on your head that is bursting, and you'll need to manage everything. So it becomes very difficult. People have asked me a lot many times that how you cleared Microsoft, how did you prepare for it? So man, the preparation does not comes in a single month or two. It was a consistent effort, maybe a short amount, maybe a short span effort, but a consistent amount of effort on a regular basis, not a short term. It was a long term, but on a daily basis, it might be a span of maybe 4 hours or 8 hours. Okay, and on a regular basis, I was consistent in my preparation, not obviously determined to crack Microsoft, but I was just I had a mindset that what I am today, I need to be a better version of that the next day. And you need not have a plan that you need to crack Microsoft, you need to crack Nutanix or Google. You just have to work in a direction to achieve certain goal. If I am working on a project and I have a timeline that I'll need to complete this project in a month, then I'll have to stick with that timeline. I'll have to make sure that I complete that project within that timelines. Okay, but obviously at college there are a lot of people who say कि क्या तुम इतना काम करोगे, and like why do you work, why do you need to work, actually you can just take rest. So see, over a long period of time you will realize that how did you mismanage your time. So just a suggestion, you can have procrastination, everyone wants to procrastinate, but try avoiding it by setting certain priorities. Priority 1, priority 2, priority 3 cannot be procrastinated at all. Maybe priority 4 and priority 5 can be procrastinated for that day. That is what I follow. And definitely a very important part of it is to get yourself aligned with your timelines is staying in a community which is focused, or staying in an environment which is likewise you. Okay, so if I want to be in a development based technology, in a development based environment, or if I want to be, if I have a if I have a liking or a hobby of dancing, so I'll put myself into a dancing club, right? So there in college you have a lot many clubs and communities. Why don't you leverage that? So by this, there are two benefits. First of all, you are there in the place that you like. Okay, so you'll gradually grow an interest of working in your particular hobby or skills. Second thing, you'll get in touch with people who are maybe better than you or at par with you, in that particular hobby. So if you talk about development, so if I am into a community which includes people from different development communities, sorry, from different development fields, so maybe I can get in touch with them. I can learn something that I might not know, or maybe I can explore certain new field in development as well. If I don't know web development, I'll get in touch with people in web development. I'll also get to have an idea of how web development works as well. So in that, I need not make any extra effort. Just that कि मैं जाके उनसे बात करूं. I'll talk to them. What is specifically, what are you doing, how things work, and they'll explain it to me. So that is how you build your network as well. So this is very important. Engage yourself in club and communities. I see good people as well. There are a lot of intelligent, so-called intelligent people who tend to say that I won't join any club and communities. So this is something that is freely available to you. Why don't you leverage them, right? No one will charge you for staying in a club or something like that. And obviously, very important thing. This is something that we follow in our company as well. So seek help when needed. So when you are stuck, when you don't have an idea of what to do next or how to move out of a particular blocker, there are a lot of seniors, there are a lot of professors, there are a lot of counselors, there are people from your family, there are people from your maybe relatives who are much experienced in what you're working upon. You can easily reach out to any one of them, and believe me, the first people might say no to you, the second people also might say no, the third people might not. Okay, so you will get your help if you actually want it. So but the initiative must be driven by you. You need to reach out. Obviously, if you stay intact with that blocker, you won't be able to progress. So you need to get that resolved as soon as possible so that you can complete your stuff within your timelines, and seek help whenever needed. That is what I would suggest. So coming to my next slide, so a very important part of it. So now actually the heat of the moment comes. भैया internship कैसे खोजें और कैसे हम internships लें, right? A guide to finding best internships. So just speaking about me, I was someone, I started finding internships in my very first year of college. I was very eager that I need to work somewhere. I need to get some practical experience because when you show a undergraduate level person's or students resume, the only thing that you have as an experience is internship. The only thing that you have as an experience is internship. How important is it? And believe me, every HR, everyone looks for an experienced guy. No one can take a newbie and train them, take the cost of training them, the time that is involved, the cost that is involved, and then further make them work for the company. And there is always a possibility that after the training that person might leave the company as well. So obviously everyone wants a trained individual, an experienced individual. So for me, when I started looking for internships at the very first year of my college, I really had tried in every possible platforms like Internshala, Naukri.com, LinkedIn. Like I had a strategy that I would make 50 applications in maybe a week, and I'll check what is the amount of response that I get, because in Internshala at that time, that was at peak, and usually you did not get much response owing to the scarcity in the number of opportunities in internships. So yeah, but usually did not get any opportunities in internship at that point of time. I did struggle a lot. So there are two things. First of all, go for an opportunity that you get. Don't see for money, or don't see for the stipend. Don't see for the scale of the company. Even if it's a newbie startup, go for it. And if it's paying you a very less amount, just go for it, because you'll gain a lot of learnings from there, and you don't know if that experience could help you gain better internship. So for me, I'll just share some experiences. So I started with a startup that was maybe a year old, but not in the tech side. I was the only tech resource in that startup, I build a web application, I build a mobile application for them, and that mobile application is still there in the Google Play Store. So I have through that internship I had my learnings. I also got a Google Play Store account, and there was a lot of other perks as well. So the second one, the second startup that I was working started the same day that I started working there. Like, just try to understand this: the day I joined the startup, it was the first day of the startup as well. So how like ambiguous scenario it is, right? For me as well, I did not knew if I will really get that stipend or not, or how things would go, how, if I would get a learning or not. But I had a picture in my mind that the CTO, the co-founder, and the founder was someone who was like a MBA from IIM, a person who was working in Nairobi. So someone from whom I can extract a lot of knowledge, right? And you won't believe, I worked upon AWS, I worked upon application development, and AWS was something new to me. And the network that I built from that startup by working as an intern was had helped me a long way, obviously in getting much more internships. And gradually over the time I got into better internships like Digital Product School, getting a internship at Microsoft, and also in many other. So so I'll just share you what is the steps. First, research what is interest for you. Research what are the opportunities open in that particular field. Just give you an example. I had an interest in machine learning at that point of time at 2019. So there were hardly any internship available for machine learning or in AI or ML. Okay, so how do you seek? So then probably I thought that this way I am not working. Like this is not working for me with AI and machine learning. I'll also have to have some knowledge with application development, because I saw mostly all the internships that were available were web and application development. But at the same time, I did not have a taste for web. I did not like web development at all. This is my personal preference. So I started learning application development. I found it helpful. I then had my first internship in application development itself. So this is how do the research, get to know what is important, or where internships are mostly, which technologies, what is demand of the job, like job details, and then choose accordingly. Second is that you might networking. So you have professors in your college, you have seniors in your college. Seniors might have contacts with different companies, or maybe startup CEOs or founders and co-founders. uh, you also might attend a lot of events. So there is DevFest that is going on. There's Google Cloud Community Days in Bhubaneswar. There are lot many tech events, right? And if you try to explore that tech events, the audience comprises of CEOs from startups, people who are working in big tech giants, people who are organizers of different communities, people who have been working in different startups and have contacts in across many startups across that cities. So once you start networking or start talking, that place your requirement, tell them that you are someone who is specialized in React.js, and I want some internship in React.js itself. So if that person is not a right person, maybe he will guide you or channelize you to a person who actually seeks an intern in React.js. So you never know, by your network you can get internships as well. And finally, the most like formal way, applying for internships. So majorly, if you look for internship opportunities, there are online job portals like Naukri.com. There's Internshala. There is LinkedIn. There's also one platform very famous known as Angels.io. So there are multiple opportunities wherein you can like apply for. And obviously you'll have to build a good resume. If you want to check how to build a good resume, maybe you can check my YouTube video. I'll share the link wherein I have walked through a good resume, and maybe you can draw insights from there, or you can choose that template to because actually that had helped me a lot in my journey. And one last thing, so internship job fairs. So while I was in Digital Product School had a community which used to organize internship job fairs. So that was specific to Germany. Okay, now for India as well, there are a lot of job fairs that takes place. So similarly, there is internship phase also as well. So if you are someone who is active on LinkedIn, you will find some internship phase. Maybe you can search in the search bar internship phase, and you'll get to know what are the current internship phase. Not necessarily these internship phase takes place like in person. Mostly they are remote because people from different parts of the globe join, and you get opportunities to directly like get in contact with the owners of the companies or startups and place your resume in front of them, tell them what expertise you have and what you can bring to the table. Maybe they'll test you on certain grounds, and then probably you will be hired as an intern there. So this is a huge opportunity as well. And believe me, I would again reiterate the same. Internships are the only chance for undergraduates, specifically for undergraduate, to have an experience. Other than that, you don't have any other like opportunities to have experience. You can also have experiences from open source projects, but internships has their own values. So be passionate about applying to internships. If you don't get, that is not a problem. There are multiple ways that you can get an internship that I already discussed. And obviously to gain a real world like experience of working in a company, working in a colleague's environment, in an environment of a team, and contributing to a team's project, you need to have this kind of internship experiences. There's one more thing. If you want to get experiences of working in a team, you can participate in hackathons, because hackathons is a good way to have a sprint project. And usually hackathons have a team that you work into and you contribute into. So a lot of I spoke a long. So is there any questions? I'll again come back. So let me come to the meeting. Yeah. So I see Vastav. Where can I find and join online communities and gain insights on specific field? Uh, Join online communities and gain insights on specific field. So for online communities, there is Discord, there's Telegram, there's LinkedIn that you can leverage. You can just search in communities on LinkedIn and you can get ample of communities. But obviously, not everything is important for you. Search by technology. You can put tags for technologies specific, or maybe if you're looking for internship based communities, you can search internship based communities, something like that. You can add the keywords and that would help. And yeah, so I see some. So Amitdeep is has raised his hand. Do you have a question, Amitdeep? Yeah, I believe like you are speaking. Thanks, Chivitesh. Really, even I feel inspired by you guys, how you are learning and evolving yourself. I am in contact with a lot of people who have been actually engaging on this OCTOHUB fest, or on a sprint that you call, and right from starting from a zero level to have actually contributed to some open source project. So I really feel inspired by them, and I also want to work in the similar ecosystem with growth mindset people. Yeah. So Bhaiya, you told about digital product school. What is that, Bhaiya? So digital product school is is a government initiative that provides you not internships, but what you call a fellowship for students or undergraduate level people across the globe, not only confined to Germany, and wherein you can work on some real world projects. Actually, the projects are of great worth it, because there are government based projects, there are startup based projects, there are other industrial based, ecosystem based projects wherein you get a chance to work. And obviously, the perks of it is huge. You get a like I get a good stipend out of it. So yeah, you can manage your own expenses as well. So Amit, if you have a question, maybe you can write it on the chat, or maybe um you can ask it directly on by unmuting yourself. Kunal Bhaiya, now I'm in third year and haven't started working on on any project yet. Do I am too late? No, Kunal. See, it's never late to start, but obviously, if you want to start, so you'll have to again have to choose what specific technologies you want to work. If you have already been trained in your college upon Python, maybe you can choose that. And yeah, Swamit, if you are not audible, maybe you can type it in the chat. And answering your question, Kunal. So, if you want to work on a project, maybe you can take up some project on the specific technologies that you have been taught in your college days. So, because obviously learning a new language or technology and then implementing some project might take some time or might not. Okay, it's upon your choice to choose. And definitely, if you're taught on Python or data science, you can take it up and you can build some projects out of it. So it's never late. Just start. You need to start. Yeah. Bhaiya, can you please tell good resources for cloud computing in YouTube? So for cloud computing, there's one named as John Saville. If you talk about this Azure certifications and Azure technologies, it's John Saville's. Okay, and specifically for AWS, you can just type in AWS, you'll get a lot many resources as well. Similarly for GCP, you have curated contents by the Google Cloud communities. Okay, and also there are Azure community days, there are AWS community days that goes on across the globe throughout the year, and you have the recordings of it. There you get a overview of the services that are newly built or the existing services or something that is in demand. So that is a good way. You can network with people on for cloud for learning cloud computing and about cloud services, cloud majorly cloud services, not cloud computing. If you want to learn about cloud computing, so there's a good book by O'Reilly. I actually don't remember the name. Maybe you can check my YouTube channel, and there I have mentioned that specific name of the book, so you can follow that. Also, cloud computing architectures are being taught at a high level in our college, but obviously go in depth, you'll have to search it on internet. Everything is readily available, and I would suggest to have some fundamental certifications. Like you have the Azure certifications that is freely available. There are sometimes you get GCP. Certification coupons by enrolling in certain courses, and similarly for AWS, there's some discounts that goes on throughout the year. You can maybe apply. You can enroll yourself and get certified, appear for the certifications. So, okay, Jivitesh Bhaiya, will you do MTech or MS after further on? You are very passionate about technology. Yeah, Jivitesh. So I have my own plans, and definitely, obviously, BTech won't limit me. Like obviously, BTech is limiting me to a certain extent. I'll have to move. I'll have to have gain further higher education on in this technology field as well as administration field. So yeah, I'll definitely that I have in my mind, and I am planning for it. So, Bhaiya, what are the main languages to master for a good career? So, main languages to master for a good career, any language would work. Just have the understanding of core fundamentals, how variables works, how the looping statement works. So, every across all languages, the architectures are same, the construct is same, the syntax is different. That is what is important. So if you learn one language thoroughly, you can easily adapt to another. It's not difficult. And Vastav, again, Bhaiya, what should we primarily focus on first year CSE students apart from my college studies? So very important thing, Vastav, thanks for pointing it out. So important thing is that never neglect your academics. So there are students who tend to neglect their academics specifically, saying that I'm working on this project and I'm learning new technologies, but I actually don't want to focus on academics. Maybe for academics won't fetch me that much, or just having the passing marks would work. But and might be there are some seniors who might deflect you or might try to convince you that academics is actually not important, but academics is equally important as learning new things and working on new projects and maybe developing or some building our skills. It's actually important. Give time to that as well. And was the answering to your question. So maybe I just said that try having a test of multiple fields like web development, app development, and try seeking what is important for you or what is more interesting for you. Maybe from there you can start, and once you have the taste of that, what is interesting to you, maybe you can reach out to different seniors in your college, ask them how do they like they got ice broken, or they started with that particular technology, learning upon it. Or also you can search it on Google, so you will get all the answers there as well. And Abhijit, where you said, okay, before that I just missed this thing. I'll quickly bring upon this the poll. So I created a poll for this event, and I before bringing the slides, I just got I missed this thing. So I'll quickly bring this slide. What you can do is that, and I'll then take up all the questions for you as well. So what you can do is that you can scan this QR code via your mobile and open this link, or maybe I can also paste this link on chat for you. And there are a few questions that I would like you to answer. Uh, so I'm just pasting the link on the chat. I would like to see your response. Actually, I'm very curious to know what have you learned across the Hacker Fest, and let's see. Let me know if everyone of you have learned, like if you have opened this website, and we'll start the poll. So you see a question, what one word would you use to describe yourself? There's a specific answering format. So the answer format is your name hyphen the one word that describes you well. So it's not specific to this session. It's not specific to Hacker Fest or OCTOHUB. It's specific to something that is you. Okay. I see Suraj is Ghatak. Okay. What else? What else? I'm waiting for your response. Kunal is curious. Nice, interesting. And let me also type in my response. I'm waiting for Pawan's response. Saurav is. What should be Saurav? Saurav is learner. चलेगा. I see Survika koi, she has not mentioned one word to describe herself. Pranjivan learning. Wow. And Saurav is learner. अच्छा वो तो मेरा ही है, sorry. Okay, and Kunal curious. There's one dreamer. I'm not sure who. Desperate job. Oh. So good, Kunal. Like, sorry, Pawan. I would ask you to get a screenshot of this. I'd like to check this screenshot after the session. Perseverant. Priyanshu is gatherer. Gatherer as in, wo jugadu. Eager, curious, observer, explorer. Pawan is foolish. This is so lame. Not at all. I don't agree. Let me know if everyone has responded to this chat and this poll, and then I'll switch to the next question. Sahid is silent. Shubhashri, grab, observer, seeker. Whoa, what sort of like vocabulary? I get a huge amount of adjectives today. Eager, insan, bhai, enthusiastic, coder, red coder, okay. Desperate, creative, explorer, Anjuan, learning, dynamic job. Nee, sorry, Srishti is dynamic. Okay, job was different. Who is desperate about job? Everyone, I guess. पहला क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे कौन सी कंपनी आती है, क्या जॉब मिलेगा, कितने लाख का जॉब मिलेगा. This is what the question everyone asks, and I'm pretty much sure the college authorities are tired of answering the same, but obviously they have to. have no other choice. करेगा grab disparate job observer was got it. Has anyone everyone dreamer was mine actually. Okay, so be nice. So
भैया
everyone has
अभी
responded. I
सुन पा
guess
रहे हैं आप?
I'll just switch. Yes, yes.
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग भैया, और ये इवेंट के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो मेरा जो डाउट था कि जैसे कि अभी हमेशा ना मार्केट में कुछ कुछ चीज़ डोमिनेंट होता है, कुछ कुछ चीज़ ऊपर में आता है। तो कुछ साल पहले जैसे कि फुल स्टैक बहुत ऊपर में आया था। तो अभी मार्केट ट्रेंडिंग में जैसे यूएस मार्केट तो अभी घटने वाला है, तो आपके हिसाब से आप मार्केट को कैसे देख रहे हो कि ऐप डेवलपमेंट या फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट या वेब डेवलपमेंट, तीनों में से कौन सा करना बेहतर रहेगा? और कौन से डोमेन के ऊपर प्रोजेक्ट करने से थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिटेबल मिलेगा?
प्रॉफिटेबल तो नहीं होता, वो तुम्हारा लर्निंग है, ठीक है। नंबर वन पॉइंट। सेकेंड इज दैट इट टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर टेस्ट। इफ आई टेल यू लर्न लो लेवल कोडिंग, ओके, और एम्बेडिंग, ठीक है, एम्बेडिंग एम्बेडेड लैंग्वेजेस, सो अगर तुम्हें वो इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं आएगा ना, तो तुम सीख नहीं पाओगे। यू हैव 5 पेपर्स रिटन